Hello, everybody. I wish I could honestly say becoming a vegan is the best thing I've ever done for my health. I cannot say that. Becoming a vegan, a healthy vegan, was good. And by the way, you can be an unhealthy vegan. That's very easy. But the best thing I ever did was I stopped drinking alcohol for one. But also, I learned how to get a good night's sleep. I'm a big fan of Joe Rogan. I listen to Dr. Matthew Walker on his podcast. I recommend everybody listen to it. I learned how important it was to get a good night's sleep. I had no idea before I listened to it. I read his book. I actually listened to his book on audio while we sleep. I think it should be required reading of all high school students. I would rather they read a book that gives them knowledge to improve the health than read Taming of the Shrew or whatever they're making them read these days. But, I didn't want to do any of his suggestions. But, at first I was like, I don't want to do this. I started thinking, what's the least I can do to try to improve my sleep? Because I'm a big health nut. I wanted to improve my sleep. But then I thought, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to do 2 weeks of I follow all of his suggestions the best I can and see what happens. This is before I stopped drinking alcohol, by the way. And I was absolutely amazed by how much my life improved. Every aspect of my life improved. I made more money, which really surprised me. I got to my deliveries more on time. I'm a truck driver. I know that sounds strange, but, you would think you have to push yourself at night. But when I started getting a good night's sleep, before I started getting a good night's sleep, I would drive for about an hour and a half and felt like I needed to take a break. I would just feel tired. Take a 10-minute break, drive another hour and a half, felt like I need to take a 10-minute break, 15-minute break, whatever. And, it made it hard to deliver my loads on time. But when I started getting a good night's sleep, all that went away and I felt like I could drive 8 hours easy. We can't drive more than 8 hours without taking a 30-minute break, but I was able to do it then. So, after 2 weeks, I just kept it up. I want to recommend you guys give it a try. Try 2 weeks, follow all of his suggestions in his book. I got them written down here. I'll go over them. I hope he doesn't mind. But, I want to try to get you guys to get a good night's sleep. I'm going to say something before that. I used to weigh 260 pounds. I got fat on the road. And, when I dedicated myself to being completely healthy and fit, I lost the weight. And people would come up to me and ask, every once in a while they would ask me, how did you lose the weight and keep it off? And, the first thing I would say is, before you lose weight, why don't you work on your sleep first? Get good sleep. Everyone who follows my suggestions says it has improved their life. So, try 2 weeks. I have a feeling if you do, you're going to be so amazed at how much better you feel and how much more productive you'll be at work and how every aspect of your life will improve that you will do longer. I'm going to go over he gave 12 suggestions at the end of his book. I'm going to go over them real quick and how I applied them. The number one is I wrote it down here. That's what I'm looking at. The number one is to stick to a sleep schedule. Set an alarm clock for when you go to bed. I'm a truck driver, so I changed time zones. So what I did was I made my bedtime, I think back then it was 9 p.m., but now it's 8 p.m. It's 8 p.m. Central because that's where I live. So no matter where I'm at, I go to bed at 8 p.m. Central. Some of you guys, if you're a truck driver and you drive overnight, you may not be able to do that, but do the best you can. Just give it a try. Set an alarm for your bedtime. All right? And that helped a lot. No exercise 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. That was hard for me, but I do my exercising in the morning now. Avoid caffeine and nicotine. That was easy for me because I don't smoke and I don't drink coffee. You don't need coffee in the morning to wake up. You need better sleep. You need more sleep, okay? So I like to try to recommend you give up caffeine if you can. Avoid large meals at bedtime. I didn't quite. I did that too. I cut back on the large meals. Avoid medicine before sleep. That didn't apply to me. I want to add into that. That actually did apply to me because I was drinking a lot of alcohol during that time. I would drink about a case of Angry Orchard every weekend, but I would stop drinking my alcohol 4 hours before bedtime. And when I started doing that, I started having more dreams. And I learned that alcohol suppresses REM sleep, that's when you have your dreams. That's why when alcoholics quit cold turkey, they may have hallucinations because their brain needs the dream so bad. So, that was a tough one for me, but I did it. Don't take naps after 3 p.m. I followed that. Relax before bed. An hour before my bedtime, I would just relax. Maybe meditate. I would not look at any screens or anything like that. And the screens in the cell phones and computers and TV, they prohibit or they suppress your brain into making melatonin. So that was a hard one for me. I loved staying up late at night watching TV, but for 2 weeks I tried it, and I still do it for this day. Take a hot bath before bed. I did that. Sometimes it's hard to do as a truck driver, but just do the best you can. If you can't do it because you're at a truck stop, or whatever, just do the best you can. A dark bedroom. I made the bedroom. That's why I sleep back there. It's messy. But I cut by, my bedroom. I made it as dark as possible. I got a sleep mask that I put on. I keep the temperature down to about 66 degrees when I'm home. And I keep it cooling during my bedtime. I get sunlight in the morning. I go outside. That's right, sunlight exposure. And don't lie in bed awake. If I'm in bed and I just can't sleep, I get up and I sit in this chair until I start getting sleepy again. I never wear sunglasses because sunglasses can trick your brain into producing melatonin sooner than what they should. Dr. Matthew Walker suggests it's okay to wear them in the afternoon, late afternoon. Don't wear them in the morning. I say just get rid of them at all. But I know the coffee is going to be a big one for you guys. It wasn't for me, but I just challenge you. Try it for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, self-discipline yourself that you're going to follow all these suggestions. And I think you'll be surprised at how much your life improves. And I'm going to add a little bit more to it. When I had some medical problems, like I had surgery and my stomach's all scarred up. I had heart problems because I was drinking a lot of alcohol and I had to stay in the hospital for a while. One of the things I did was I took a sleeping mask with me. If you've ever been in the hospital, it is almost impossible to get a good night's sleep. The lights from all the machines are bright. Nurses come in, nursing assistants, they come in all hours of the night to take your blood pressure and everything. But I wore a sleeping mask. And that thing that really helped me to recover from my illnesses. So, if you have to go to the hospital for any reason, get a sleeping mask. Take it with you. Something else I want to add real quick. I wake up without an alarm clock. What I do is I go to bed early enough to make sure I'm going to, wake up in time. And then I set my alarm clock about an hour after I need to get started on my work day or whatever. I know that might seem hard or tough, but I tried it. And, I became more productive at driving. I could drive longer hours. Just try 2 weeks and dedicate getting a good night's sleep as the most important thing you're going to do for the day. Follow all those suggestions. Let me know how it goes. I wish all of you guys a lifetime of health and happiness.